Give me 1 minute and I'll be right back. Okay, so we should be good to go. I think everything is functioning well. Let me make sure I don't screw anything up. Didn't screw anything up. Need to check. Hope everyone is enjoying their day. It's been a while. I've been busy. I just want to make sure that I'm actually broadcasting. I've been busy. Awesome. The thing I need is perfect. Okay. Oh, so we got some. Let me show you some of the bees. You guys are always wondering about these. So here is the Russians. I actually just put them in here. I did a sneaky little trick to put them in here today. So I opened up this little top and then I let them crawl down in there. And that's the Russians. And right here, guys, is the new porch bees. So as you guys see right there on the porch, I haven't set a camera or anything up on them yet, but that's the porch bees right there on the porch. Good to go. And all that jazz. So see what today's temperature is. Today's temperature on this, I have no idea what day of the week it is either. It's 50 degrees or 10 C. So 50 Fahrenheit, 10 C on the day of May. I don't even know what day of the week it is. Let me think. If I had to guess. Monday, maybe? I think it's Monday. So we're going to guess a high probability it's Monday. So. I know quite a bit later, and you know, most of you guys are probably shocked that I'm even on here because I haven't been streaming in the last little bit. I've just been working on a lot of projects. I'll show you some of the projects I'm working on before we go feed everyone, so you guys can get some idea of the things that I've been doing. Again, you know, you guys can always watch me work on the Mavis Pharmacy page, or if you happen to prefer to use, you're tired of using all these other services, you can go to prohibited.tv and /X Dr. Firefly. You can watch the farm and such on there as well. So here is the fence I've been working on. It's not as pretty from this side because this is the side that I jerry-rig everything and kind of use with what I got, but we're going to keep extending the fence that way. But here's what I've got so far. And yeah, it's coming along real nicely, looking real pretty. So now we're gonna head on into the barn. I'm gonna get everybody fed. Did a little bit of feeding earlier, so it's another feeding day for me. Lisa's got a headache, so that means that the chores fall out on me. So we're gonna set you guys right up here. I finally finally have a new tripod. So the new tripod definitely helps. So yeah, no, like the fence on the other side, the fence on my side, the pond side, I'm not so much worried about. Just kind of wanting to make sure the animals can't get out. It's kind of the display side on the outside that I want to kind of look nice. I can always grow some plants and some stuff on this side of the fence and patch that up, which I'd really like to do. You know, like maybe get some ivy and such to grow on this side, on the inside of the fence up. I think that would be really cool and fun. So. Well, here we are in the barn. You guys can hear the fan going. I'm going to walk right over there. I'm going to pick up some feed. And then we're going to go around. We're going to feed all the chickens. And just, you know, your typical little chit-chat. So now that I've got things a little bit better organized here, I will be doing, I should be able to start getting back to doing regular live streaming again. I don't think I'm going to go back to every day, unless I've got plenty of time every day, but I think we'll do a scheduled 3 times, maybe 4 times a week. That's on top of, I'm still going to always do my Wednesday night show, so those that want to follow Wednesday night at 9 o'clock, we do a 9:30-ish. 10 o'clock, somewhere between 9 and 10, we do a show called the Mesoverse, the Middleverse, and we just kind of talk about just interesting things that we see out there in the world, and kind of more of a hopeful, positive spin onto things. So even with the doom and gloom, and even with the craziness out there, kind of just ways that we can keep our minds clear and we can keep our minds moving forward, and also be like really talking about the stuff out there, but without like spreading fear and flood and all the other kind of horrible stuff. So that show will still be going on. We'll still be doing Sundays. We'll still be getting into the beehive, except for days that it's raining. Sundays we'll still be getting into the beehive and still be looking at the bees once a week and seeing all the cool stuff like that. And then, like I said, I'll figure out what days are going to be the best that we can go back to doing weekly Let's Feed the Chickens. And then we can talk, like, we can get the hands dirty and see exactly about farmsteading and home and gardening and such like that. So, got a lot of stuff I want to show you, and a lot of stuff that I've been working on. But a lot of times I didn't have my tripod, and it was just really, really hard to try to do things without a tripod and such like that. But now that I've got my tripod, it should be good to go. I did want to point out to those that don't know, the price of corn has just went up. So it went up, the price it raised for me was $1. It rose an entire dollar for a 50-pound bag of corn. That doesn't sound like a whole lot, but that's in the 20 years that I've been raising chickens. I've been raising chickens here for about 15 years. And I raised chickens a few years when I lived in other places. That is the largest single increase that I've ever seen. So even when I saw like 70-cent increase and crazy increases like that when we were dealing with you know, the 2008 crisis and such like that, I didn't see that much of an increase. So be forewarned, when chicken prices go up and when feed prices go up, that also means the price of eggs will go up, it means the price of beef will go up, it means the price of everything else around it will go up. So plan for that. So hopefully this settles back down and the price goes back down, but I'll keep you guys updated. I'll make sure that we always know what the price of feed is and how much increase I see. I'll be your eyes and ears in the farm world, or at least the hobby farm, the small farm world, and kind of give you an idea of what to expect when it comes to prices. Because the farmers, we usually get hit first, and then it kind of trickles into the consumer world. I bet that's Turkish, and if that's Turkish, then hello, Turkish person. Welcome. My Turkish is horrible. One day I do need to learn how to say hi in Turkish. Okay, so we're gonna switch the cameras around now. So let me pop this over here. We're gonna move around, so. Okay, thank you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope everything is going well. Things are going wonderful and swell here, like always. Life is rarely do I have a bad day. I have annoying days, but I'm living the dream, living on a farm, being surrounded by animals. I don't really know what else could be better. I love everything about this particular aspect of my life. And for those out there thinking I'm bragging or something, it is possible. You guys can all have this too. It's just a little bit of sacrifice, a little bit of working in the right direction, and you guys can all. This is totally possible for everyone out there. I don't want people to understand. That's part of the reason why I show you guys what we do, is I just want you guys all to know. I just want you guys to know that it is absolutely possible. So what do I have here on the farm? So we have chickens. So inside all the cages are our Bantam chickens or our silkies. We keep them inside these. These are actually all move outside when the weather gets a little bit better, and then they move around the yard. We also have ducks. So we got Muscovy ducks. So there's some Muscovies right up there hanging out. I've got a chikar. I used to have more chikars, but I pretty much just have one of those right now. So, and then chickens and such like that. So, you know, vegan dog, I wouldn't worry anything about Agenda 21, to be honest. Maybe if you're gonna live in someplace like California, or you're gonna live someplace, that that lots of craziness is gonna happen. Maybe so, but here I'm in southern West Virginia. And let me tell you a little thing about Agenda 24, or 2020, Agenda 2020, whatever you want to call Agenda, whatever it is. So, Agenda 2030, Agenda 31, Agenda, 2100, whatever you want to call. Here in southern West Virginia, it's not coming here. So, this is forgotten land. So, we are in it is definitely hinterland. This is the forgotten realm here. People I don't have zoning here, so the downfall is if shit hits the fan, I'm not gonna have access to the grocery stores. They're just not gonna bring food here. They're just, I'm last on the list for power. In the 16 years I've lived here, there's been times where the powers went out and it's taken a week or two for them to restore power. So, there's a lot of good things. Now, also, there's got to be, especially like if you're in the UK, you can probably find some of the valleys in Wales that should be able to. Anywhere the Agenda 2030 and the sustainable development goals. I can tell you all about those. Actually, I'm very familiar with that. So. I'm actually my nonprofit, because I run a nonprofit, I actually have to, I don't have to, but they want to know how I'm participating in some of those goals and such. And so I've spent a long time really researching, trying to understand what they're referring to and how to understand that. So, yeah. And talking about flushing me out, do you forget I'm American? And Americans rarely get flushed out of their area. We'll go outside as soon as I'm done feeding people in here. I'll also show you guys stuff outside, so you guys get another idea of what it actually is like to be here in Southern West Virginia. But I don't want to forget any of the people, so right now I'm going to go back to give me about 30 seconds or so to focus on that. So I've got 3 more cages up there to do. Then I'm going to give everybody water. But before I give everybody water, I'll show you the cages that I'm going to be working on. We're going to be going up there. But before I give everybody water, we'll go for a walk outside. One of the things is, so I do practice. So the reason why I'm also going to fall below radar with a lot of the other stuff is I do practice permaculture. And I don't practice permaculture just because, I used to be a greenie or because I've got some crazy liberal agenda, but I practice permaculture because it is actually one of the better ways to do your farm. You really save a lot of money. So and when you save money, it also means that you can be making money. And so, like, one of the things that they a lot of times want to trick people into thinking is that this Agenda 21, this Agenda 2030, whatever you want to say it, that all of it is just some crazy, really bad, and it's going to be horrible. When the truth is there's actually some really good lessons that you can learn from some of those techniques. Now, what I don't like is them forcing. I don't like the idea of being forced to do anything. Actually, I don't really participate in anything that forces me to do anything. So, I think taxes is probably the only thing I'm forced to do. And I still even try to find ways to dance around that as well. Okay, let me grab so I can get you guys outside. We're gonna get the couple guys outside, then we're gonna go give Sylvia, because I know Sylvia is gonna want some food. So Sylvia is our pig, so she's gonna want some food in just a little bit as well. So on our handy run, this is another one of our additional little barns that we have in here. That's not the most flattering view. Just to show you guys, just to show you how chickens, they'll sit and lay eggs anywhere. She's just in there. Just decided that was the perfect spot. to sit and hang out and have some eggs. So I also have bees. So I've got beehives. This is the beehive that you guys occasionally see on the stream. I'm going to be redoing the camera on that one soon because it's just it's not living up to its potential. So when my cameras don't live up to their potential, I redo them because there's always cool things that we can probably find. So we got to walk over into the barn. So my honey production has been pretty good. I don't really focus so much on the honey. I usually use the honey for me personally and not so much on selling, because the main reason I have my bees is because my bees are absolutely spectacular at pollinating everything. And I really like how much hard work they do to improve my gardens. So from having bees, it's almost like adding a whole bunch of extra fertilizer to your gardens. That's just how spectacular the bees do. So I've never planted heather. I should actually plant some heather. Lavender, the bees do really love lavender and salvia and things of that sort. So let me, you see Sylvia? Here is Miss Sylvia. All right, Miss Sylvia. Sylvia is our 600-pound pig, and her job is to keep big animals away and to move the fence like she's doing because she's super hungry. So I'm gonna give her some food, and you know, slip and fall everywhere. So I need to give her a little bit more than that. That was just a snack. I slipped and fell, and so spilled way too much of it. Got this. But let's, before I go do that, I'm going to put this back in the barn. Let me show you guys, I promised to show you what the farm and such look like. So, there's Fernando, letting us know that I don't know what he's telling us today. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to walk out to the hayfield. And the reason we walk out to the hayfield is because out in their hayfield, we don't have all the trees that I planted right around here. So here on the farm, so I have about an acre set up for what I call the permaculture lab. That's where we do experiments. That's where the pig lives. That's where the chickens live. That's where I've built these barns. So the one barn that we were in, the main barn, I built that one out of wooden pallets. The other barn is kind of one of those little sheds for chickens and such that me and my partner, we modified. She came up with some really good ideas of how to do that. And then inside the pine trees, where you'll see these grouping of pine trees, that's that acre that we have set up for that. So right now we're walking down what we call the bunny trail, which leads to where our bigger garden plots are and such. So everything behind us. This is an autumn olive, but it smells very much like jasmine. So it's even on rainy days like this, it's just a beautiful, beautiful smell outside. So I'm about the middle of my hayfield. Spin around. So here we are in the middle of hayfield. So here in southern West Virginia, I have roughly 33 acres. If anybody's super interested, you can get on Google Maps and type in Mavis Manor. That's the house right there. That's my house. It's a map dot on Google Maps. You guys can see an aerial shot of where I am. Here located in a flat top. So all those trees, every one of those pine trees I hand planted. So I've been slacking this year. I'm really behind on the amount of trees that I'm supposed to be planting. but we will be on top of that. So I've got a pond that's dipped down right there. And then we can look up here at the mountainside. Vegan Dog, there might actually be a link in the description. So on straight to the map dot. Because unfortunately, with the way I'm streaming right now, I actually can't type anything. So I've been here for 16 years. I grew up in the inner city. Then I lived in the suburbs for a while, and then I decided that I just needed to get away from everything. And so actually, the end of this month, I'll been here for 16 years. So, and lots of cool plans. I started off running just a bed and breakfast, and then from there I transitioned this into a hobby farm, and now it's an educational place. It's like my nonprofit, which is !M, which will send you to if you type in !M, it'll send you to the website of my nonprofit, where we teach people off-grid living, gardening, farming. It's all, it kind of depends on what people are interested in. These are my really cheap ways of making of growing stuff. This is the Ruth Strout plan of action. So there's no tilling at this particular one, and you guys can see there's a potato plant and some potato plants and some more potato plants popping up in here. And all I did is just put a whole bunch of hay down. Yeah, just !M, !M, and it should send you right to my link to my website. And if you want to join the Discord, !Discord, and you can join our Discord channel where we talk about a lot of stuff. I'm also on there a lot, so you guys want to voice chat with me, or you just want to, sometimes I'm just hanging out, especially when I'm working, and I've got the voice chat in. I'll just in one of the voice chats, and you guys can just chit chat with me, and sometimes I have the camera on, and sometimes I don't. It all depends. All kind of depends on how busy I am. So, and this is where we've decided this year that this area right here, we're gonna try to put corn all throughout right here to see what happens. So corn will be this is gonna be the corn area. So I've got some heirloom corn, so we're gonna grow that. Give that a shot. Still working on getting everything in place. So hopefully, we're working on acquiring some housing right now. So yeah, those hoops are for those hoops are for middle of summer when I need to put shade over the plants, because they might be getting way too much direct sunlight, or in the fall to help extend the season just a little bit. I wasn't comfortable with the temperatures that we had outside to be able to start plants off in the spring with them. So I'm going to be using them for more shade and to extend my fall growing season. You're asking about the house. The house was built in 1897. Or give or take just a little bit. So I'll be soon. I'm just going to keep sticking with soon. Soon we'll be doing some more classes. I'll be bringing some more plants outside. We'll be sowing some more seeds directly into the ground, and we'll be doing some more experiments. As soon as I acquire some living arrangements, we'll be having an intern. So I have everything with the intern lined up. So, interestingly, I met the intern here on DLive. So that's a really cool thing. So as soon as I get all that set up, we'll have the intern here, and they'll be my first intern here on the lab on the farm. And we got lots of cool projects, and with that in place, we'll be able to do lots of cool stuff. Here is the Pine Cove. This is the other place that I have bees. So I currently have 3 hives doing their thing right now. It's a cold, rainy day. That's why you're not really seeing a whole bunch of bees, but we've got the 3 hives just functioning there. This is the area where we're going to be moving and putting in our fire pit. So this is the new fire pit. If you guys are wondering, that is the inside of a dryer. Why? Because it's gonna make a nice way to control the fire. And then I was just trying to putting a little chimney out back like that will help control the way the smoke goes. And so that right now is just a simple makeshift way to be able to do that. And then some trees that we lost this winter, like really good stoops to sit down on and such like that. So lots of wonderful, great projects to work on. This is where we'll be constructing. You guys saw the tent that fell down last year. We're going to actually be constructing another one, a better one here for hay storage for next year. This is currently where I'm working on putting in a little pond. So I'm just I hand dig everything. So we'll be hand digging in. We'll be putting a new pond here. Maybe I'll teach you guys how to, especially with high levels of clay, how to do the good compression so that the you can make a pond hold water for an extended period of time. So my couple little micro experiments of my little micro ponds that I have set up. Once they got water in there, the water stayed in for weeks. So it's just some little tricks on how to seal an earthwork pond. So nothing too crazy, but we'll talk about that in the future. Let's walk down here. You guys probably want to see the bunnies because I know a lot of people. The bunnies are some of their favorite parts. So I got Fernando here meowing his face off. Hi, Fernando. Watch out. I have to go say hi to the bunnies. Camera around. So there's the bunnies. Fernando, the bunnies don't want you in there with them. Come on out. Yep. So most of this batch are Floyd's. They're the black bunnies. So these are our bunny apartments over here. Watch out, Fernando. I don't eat the bunnies, but they are these bunnies are part of the reason we raise them is for folks that may choose to do that in the future. So we don't currently eat any of our animals on our property, but we do raise animals for the idea of people might want to get into homesteading, or people might want to be raising animals so they have control of their own meat and such like that. So I'm not opposed to folks doing that. We just that's just a choice that we've made. My significant other, she is a vegetarian, and I'm more of a I eat what's available, so kind of an opportunist eater. So here is the pond that we've been working on the last couple years. So for those that didn't know, this was just a little stream, a little seasonal stream that came through that I've put into a pond and been working on making it better and better. Still got a lot of work to do, but it holds water nice. The ducks love it, and it leaks absolutely insanely crazy. But you know, everything takes some work. So let's go back into the barn. Let's get some more corn. We're going to give Sylvia the pig just a little bit more corn. So yeah, any word. I really need to be spending, you're right, I need to be building up that earthworks dam even more and more. So far it's been doing pretty well. Like if you've probably seen it since the beginning, and you've seen how much I've really been working on it, but I almost need to double its height and double its width to really strengthen it a lot. So, because that's one of the issues that I'm currently having with it, is that it just needs some more work. But again, when you're doing stuff like with your hands and shovels, it takes a little bit, it definitely takes a little bit of time. You know, a good nice day's work, you're pretty tired afterwards. And with all the other chores that are absolutely required to get done, I'm trying not to overwork myself, so that I have enough energy to focus on the other projects that are absolutely pressing. Sometimes you just, when things are good enough, you just deal with them being good enough. So yeah, no, that's what I'm hoping, is that when I get the intern, there'll be some projects that I can either give to the intern, or that I can then focus on, because the intern will be doing other things. And so maybe I might not give that particular job to the intern, but I might give something else that's, you know, maybe not quite as labor intensive, because I actually don't mind digging ditches. I actually don't mind working in the mud and digging and such like that. So I might end up taking over that particular point, but some of the other chores and some of the other things that are definitely pressing, that also take a lot of labor, or at least a lot of energy, I can switch that over, and you know, multiple hands can get jobs done rather quickly. Me and Lisa also decided we're probably going to add campgrounds in the near future to the farm. So we think that might be a way to generate a little bit extra revenue for us. So putting in some campgrounds. So we're also going to be working on how to do the campgrounds and such. Well, the other thing, anywhere, is I also want to make sure that when I get the intern, I want to make sure that they're learning skills that they can acquire, that they can put into themselves. I want to also make sure I can teach them how to set up market gardens, how they can get out there into the world, they can sell their products. So maybe we'll be hyper-focusing on growing particular plants, so that they can start figuring out how to actually generate revenue from their own farm, depending on what they want to do. And we're going to do this all in little scales. I have tons and tons of literature. And by the way, guys, if anybody else is interested in any of this literature, like maybe you can't actually ever physically be an intern, but if you jump on the Discord, !Discord, I'll share all this information with you. So the whole purpose of what I do is to share things with you. So we have cisterns. So interestingly enough, so the water for the animal is all from cisterns. So we have springs all over the property, but we actually also have city water. So I have the best of both worlds. I have city water that if I need municipal water, it's there available. And I also have springs, and I have a cistern, and the amount of rain and such, it's easy to catch rainwater and such like that. So running out of water is not really an option for me. So now, like the animals, they all get, all the animals, we fill up 5 gallon, I'll show you what we do. We fill up 5-gallon jugs from the cistern, and that's what goes to water. That's what goes to water all the animals and such here. We drink filtered water, and then for showering and such, we just use regular city water. So, you know, it's I'm lucky because we're kind of in a really nice sweet spot. Very lucky. And the other thing is the other thing I'm really lucky about being here is we have good high-speed internet. I joke around like I actually found that cabin in the woods with high-speed internet. I don't know if you guys can hear the ducks and just how loud they are. So Muscovy ducks are really interesting because they don't actually quack. They just kind of make like a hissing and like a, whatever that other little noise that you can kind of hear is. I also have regular ducks in here too, so if you can hear the quacking, that's because there's regular ducks that intermingle and live in here with everybody else. So inside the barn, we've got the Muscovies. So these guys with the red things are Muscovies. That is a Swedish. The Muscovies. We got a little rooster hanging out right there. So. Yeah, all of our animals are for breeding purposes or because they work and they do something important. So yeah, the purpose of the animals is for breeding purposes, to generate us money, to be cool to raise animals, or because, like, for example, rabbits do really good to rebuild the soil, because we add their poop back into the soil, so they create a soil. The pig, her job is to keep the bears and the larger animals away, so she's really, really good at that. The ducks are actually really good pond builders. So this was kind of a very big monoculture when I first moved here. It was mostly just a big hayfield. And so as I brought in and wanted to dig out ponds, ducks will come in, and because ducks will do a little bit of engineering, and then bringing in the ducks will then change the water quality. It'll also they'll aerate the water. They'll also do stuff that will promote bugs to move in, which in then turn will promote frogs to move in, which from the frogs moving in, then it'll promote to bring turtles and such in. And so you can get a lot of ecosystem building. And so having all of those animals on the farm also means that the water quality is going to improve. It also means that it's going to bring other types of animals, pros and cons, but it's going to bring other types of animals onto that, which is going to balance out the ecosystem. And when you have more of a balanced ecosystem, plants, microclimates start showing up, and so plants will start growing better. You'll start getting that proper exchange and the micronutrients, so the quality of your food will also increase because you're going to get a lot more micronutrients. And so by simply like knowing how to work with nature, by adding ducks, by adding rabbits, by adding other animals into the mix, making sure that nothing's overshadowing, making sure nothing's dominating anything, and just finding that balance, you can make some really spectacular, you can really make some awesome ecosystems. And that in turn means super awesome tasty food that you're going to be eating later on. And if you're eating super awesome tasty food, then you're going to feel super awesome. It's probably also going to be tasty, but we're not going to go that far. So, and it's just like that, just that whole, that, yeah, just as a vegan dog said, that interconnection. And once you got that interconnection down, it's just cool. And then you just feel good every day. Not every day. You feel good 90% of the time. You're going to have bad days. So, and plus it's fun. You look forward to going outside. You look forward to raising your animals. You look forward to every year seeing what new thing appears. You know, like finding box turtles or finding frogs. Or we caught a tree frog the other day, which was just hanging out right there by the pond. It was just right there. It was really cool. So it was coming to breed in the pond and such like that. And then salamanders. And then different types of migratory birds come through. And then new types of plants come in. So like we've seen, we've had a couple different tree species that's came in here, and it's just been really cool. May, it is good to see you as well. So, and I'm glad to have you. I'm glad that you're here. So, what did I do before this? So before I came here and lived on the farm, I actually worked as a zookeeper. So I worked at a zoo for a handful of years. Before I was a zookeeper, I actually worked. I was just your typical, I worked in the mall and just kind of did that kind of stuff. So I went to college a lot. So I also, during the time working at the zoo and working at the mall and just a lot of odd jobs, I was in college. I went to college for a very, very, very long time. No degree, no nothing like that. I really just went to college to go to college. So the things I was closest, I have three things I was close to getting a degree in. One was ecology. One was classical ballet, and the other was child development. So my backgrounds in education are in those fields, so psychology, theater, and science. So, but I decided that college wasn't the proper path for me. I'm not good at other people telling me what to do for too long. So I bounced around finding other ways until I figured out how to get out of the rat race and into life. So, so that's complicated. Yes and no. So, I actually worked. So what I did is we worked with my family to start their retirement business. So that's actually what I did. I moved down here so that in the future, when they needed to, they would have a place to retire to that was functioning, and that they would have a safe place to go to. So I kind of did the backwards thing. Instead of like, you know, inheriting land and having land I actually passed land up. So I went and worked, did a lot of work on the house. Of course, my parents helped, but when they had time between their jobs and such, they came down here. We built this all up. I ran a bed and breakfast for a while to make some extra revenue. I, of course, lived very thrifty, and I still do live a very thrifty life. So try to live on as very little amount of money as I possibly can. And then because we knew that they were going to be moving here, and then when they moved here, then there was only one house payment. So you know, I don't know if ducks have echoes. I've heard that before too. I could believe it. It also could be the way we hear things as well. So sometimes a lot of that stuff is the way we hear things. So yeah, no, family is important to me, and I think it's important to reconnect generations and to rebuild this bond that has been stripped from us for families. So my name's Justin, by the way, for those that don't know. Most people on here call me Doc, but my name is Justin. But going back, so it's one of those things we need to reconnect the families together. My plan is here in southern West Virginia. My plan is to start building community, is to start trying to get more and more people to move into the area. So, and to try to get people that want to have like-minded ideas or close enough to like-minded ideas to start building community back, because that's what we need here, especially here in America. Where we've been so separated and disconnected, and everybody thinks they're angry or mad at somebody else. We really just have a lot of our ideas. We can join back together as one, start really good communities, listen to other people's ideas, and then say screw to the rest of the system. We need to change the paradigm. We don't need to participate in it. So You want to? I want to see the world better, so that means that I have to make my life better, and it means I have to be the type of person I want to see in everybody else. And even if everybody else is not going to be like that, so be it. Like, my day is great. You know? Seriously, rarely do I have a bad day. So usually if it's a bad day, it's usually related to a headache or something silly like that. Usually no outside force is going to direct me to do that. So, but anyways, and the other thing is, and I know that not everybody will be able to come here to Flat Top, and I might be able to do this, but so what I want to do is I want to build a model that I can then give to other people, or I can travel to other people and help them build models in their communities. Because if everybody were just building our little pocket communities of awesomeness, and then we all interconnect with this awesomeness together, we can all live great lives. And some people want to have techie, awesome lives where they work on computers all day and are programming. And other people love, being school teachers or driving a bus or being a doctor. Or there's even people out there that love being janitors. I'm not trying to tell anybody to change what they want to do. I'm just build community back and be cool and, disconnect from the corruption of the corporate world. We still need the corporate world. I'm not anti-corporate world. I'm just anti the corruption that this government corporate world that we currently live in. So, you guys probably heard me, I'm not going to, I have to say, part of the reason I need the corporate world, when all this silliness happened and most of the small businesses closed around me and I didn't have access to things, I used Amazon, and I'll tell you, if it wasn't for Amazon, I would have been shit out of luck because I wouldn't have been able to get the stuff I needed because I needed small orders and such like that. So Amazon, things like Amazon helped me. Now, it depends on, I'm not saying don't, suckle up to the tit of Amazon or Walmart or any of these big corporations and just be there, stuck there, not willing to adventure out. But use the tools that are out there to make your life a little bit better. I say this, and I also, as my nonprofit, Amazon's also given me, has also done wonderful things for me, because, I don't know if you guys know this, I'm just going to pass this on, if you use Amazon, and you're going to suckle up to that tit, make sure that you do smile.amazon.com and pick a nonprofit, so Amazon's required to give part of that money to a nonprofit. You can use my nonprofit, which is Mavis Institute, but if you don't want to use that, at least use somebody. Use your favorite ones. So, out there. But the thing is the world gets silly, and some of us that are trapped in these tiny little bubbles where there's not a lot of opportunity. Part of the reason I love Appalachia is awesome. So, but I do lack a lot of stuff, and so that's the downfall. So. Yeah, no, modern corporations are silly. But corporations on a fundamental level are actually not a bad thing. For a group of people to get together, and work together to make things awesome, which is actually just a cooperation. You're just cooperating together. But the problem is when stockholders and when you're beholden to just the dollar, that's when you just, or in your case, the pound. You've missed the point. The point is your corporation should be helping your community. That group of people, you should be wanting to make your life and everybody else around you better. And that's why I'm not anti-corporation. I'm just saying we need to change the paradigm. We need to make it so that corporations is all about making the world better, making your community better, making things better. Because I like nice things. Like, thank goodness I have a fan in this barn, and I have electric, and I've got lights, and I've got a radio, because those are all things I need here on the farm to make life a little bit better and functional and easier. And if it wasn't for corporations and businesses, none of that would exist. That being said, I don't like the fact that things get crazy exploited, and we don't need to always, we should choose not to participate to our best of our abilities. That's the other thing. To the best of our abilities. So I'm not an extreme. I'm extreme center, as I've told people before. I am extreme middle. So you do the best you can. Every little day, do something. Every day, do something that's, you know, making you and the world a little bit better. So I told people everybody can be off grid. Everybody can be sustainable. Everybody can be self-reliant. Everybody can be community reliant. If yesterday you were 0% and today you're 1% and you've just made one step closer, that's spectacular. You are making a difference. You are doing it. It is awesome. And if you never get to 100%, that's okay. We don't need everybody to get to 100%. So you just need to get a little bit closer. Hey, anywhere, if you are going to the beach today and you are going to grow any plants, make sure you snag up some of that sand, because beach sand is awesome to mix in with your soil. And it actually adds a lot of micronutrients back to your soil, especially if you're going to grow some plants inside your house. And just mix a little bit of that beach sand back in, because all the good stuff from the ocean and that kind of stuff are there. Good to go. So I haven't seen the ocean in way longer than I'd like to admit. I miss the ocean. Haven't seen it in a while, but make sure anybody out that's anybody out there. If anybody lives near anything that's got natural sand, that can be deltas of rivers, that can be the ocean, that can be even some of the big lakes that you got beachfront. That sand, that living wild sand, just mix that in with your soil. Even if you're just going to grow houseplants, mix a little bit of that in, and it is just awesome. It does a great job. Okay, let's go. I got a couple rabbits to feed, and we're gonna go over and get a little bit more food so I can feed the rabbits. By the way, guys, I think most of you that are currently watching know about this, but if you Mavis Pharmacy is my is Lisa's 24/7 page if you want to see what's going on 24/7 on the farm. So, by the way, guys, I will be soon. If you guys aren't part of prohibited.tv, it's another streaming site kind of like DLive or Twitch or anything else, but I'll be occasionally, I'm going to be doing some exclusive shows over on that site. So it's a new streaming site, DLive.tv. So, and if you are a streamer and you need help setting it up on that one, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to teach you guys how to stream on there as well. They're gonna, in the future, they're going to start adding back, like, they're going to start doing things similar to the lemons and such like that, but without taking, you know, that crazy cut that DLive takes with everything. Because I love the idea of that, so. I don't think the cicadas, I don't think I'm inside the cicada thing. If I get a chance, I'm kind of hoping I get a chance to go out to where the cicadas are, because I want to grab a cicada branch. So I don't know if you know this, but cicadas, they go up there, and when they all making that noise, they actually they put a little bit of baby cicadas, like the eggs and such, up in the branches of that kind of stuff. And what I want to do is, you can usually tell where they're up there because the leaves start dying back. But I want to actually go take some of those branches, bring the baby cicadas down here, and I want to start a brood. I'm going to pick a couple areas in my property and put them in so that they can emerge into the ground, and then I can get brood 10, because that's what this is. The cicadas that are emerging right now is brood 10, and then I can get brood 10 down here, because it used to be here, but due to lots of different reasons, brood 10 is currently not in my area. But cicadas are one of my absolute favorite things. So I love their sound. I love just everything about them. Plus, they're great food for chickens and ducks. They're free food. Okay, so cicadas' benefits. So part of the benefits that cicadas do is because they live underground, they aerate the soil. They also trim the roots of the trees, because they get down there and they eat a little bit, but they don't kill the trees. They're by no means harmful. They're not going to hurt the trees at all, but they get in there and they trim the roots and they keep the tree nice and healthy and things of that sort. They aerate the soil. And then when they come up, there's just ample amount of food for a lot of animals. Okay, ducks. It's a lot of extra food for the animals as they come through, and so it also means that the year after cicadas come through, a lot of other animals are going to do really, really well because they got a really good, nutritious diet. So if I could go through in the next, 7 years, collect one of each brood and bring some of the brood down here and just help foster bringing in the cicadas to the area, that would just be awesome. So West Virginia is already one of those places. It's probably a destination on the East Coast. It's a rich people's playground right now. There's there's a handful of type of people that's here, but the main two types of people here in West Virginia are the poor people that are Appalachian poor, that are here, but because they don't really owe any money, because it's family land, they're just going to stay here on the trailer, and they're going to stay here in their trailer and stuff like that. And the other thing is the rich. This is a place for the rich. So during from 2010 to 2020, so I worked for the census during that time. During 2010 to 2020, the state of West Virginia lost 60,000 people. So put that in mind. The population dropped 60,000 people, and it wasn't because a lot of people didn't, trust the government and fill out the census. It was because there's just people are leaving this area. And I don't see that stopping. So West Virginia has had a population loss for the last 70 years. And I don't really see that stopping anytime soon. There's not really a whole lot that West Virginia has to offer a lot of people. Land is fairly inexpensive. The thing is there's not a lot of farmland. It's very mountainous. So I would say a vegan dog, imagine the hills and valleys. Imagine the hills and valleys of Wales. Not the nice stuff, but just mostly the hills and valleys. Or maybe even like the hills and valleys of Scotland. That's kind of what it's like here. There's not too much flat rolling land. It's mostly like we're right in the heart of Appalachia, so everything is kind of just valleys and hills, and you got lots of vertical, lots of stuff. You have to be really good. You have to be very creative with farming. Now we're nowhere near as crazy as like a Switzerland, where we don't got cliffs or anything crazy in the Alps, but we're definitely high. So like currently my elevation is higher than Snowdon right now. So, and we have real winners. I mean, you can grow a lot of small things. There's lots of smaller stuff that you can grow. The problem is that, so the hottest it'll get here, I think the hottest I've ever seen here is 32°C. But when it comes to cold, you could have probably about -40°C. So we have the two extremes for those at Fahrenheit. That's in the 90s, and that's about -30, -30 in the winter, and roughly in the 90s. So that's about it's about 30°C and -40-ish C. So plenty of snow. Nice. We do have 4 seasons. That's the one thing I love about here. We do have nice 4 seasons. And if you like 4 seasons, that's what's great. I mean, really, we have closer to like 6 seasons here. Because, you know, you have your typical 4 seasons. And then you have mud season. And then you have rain season. And mud season and rain season are different, so. Yeah, vegan dog, I gave you, I think, I gave it to you in C. So 30°C, which in the vicinity of 90. It doesn't quite get to 90 here, but in the vicinity of 90, 30°C, and then -40°C for winters, which is about -30 something Fahrenheit. So let's see. Oh, I want to show you guys what the fence looks like on the outside, because that's the one thing that you guys didn't get to see. By the way, guys, if you want to say hi to, there you guys can say hi to everybody else that's on the other channel. Man, Fernando is just meowing his face off today. So I'll show you guys what I'm working on here on the outside. So these are the couple year ago I had gardens right here. I still got some stuff growing. Like here's some asparagus. If you want to see nice asparagus growing right here. And I've got some potatoes. There's some potatoes popping up there, so. So yeah, you know, it gets really cold. Yes, really cold here. We don't get really cold that often. It's only for like 3 days, but it gets very, very cold. So, and then I got some other stuff growing in here. The rabbits are also helping eating it. But sunchokes are growing right there, and I've got some asparagus, not asparagus, rhubarb, and some rhubarb there. That's Fernando. Go back to Mexico. Now he's a winter cat, so he absolutely loves winter. So the name Fernando it's more of like a fur. So because you know, silly names are hilarious. So you know, it's not that he's hungry. We can go back to the house. I can give him food, and he's still gonna meow. It's like he's just telling me about his day. So I'm walking over here so I can spin around so I can show you guys the outside part of the fence that I was working on. Okay, so around. So there is what the fence looks like on the outside. So definitely a lot nicer than it looks on the inside, but that's the whole purpose. So I don't know if you guys I think I mentioned it to you guys, but purple stop sign, because that's how I do all my gates. Purple stop sign. Blue stop sign, orange stop sign. I've got that red stop sign to put someplace else, but I use to know which gate you have to go through. I can tell people which stop sign to go through. So one of the little things that stop signs and letters are just silly little tricks that I've done. So yeah, we'll be adding. I'll be extending this fence. I'll be extending this fence further. So if you guys, I don't know if you guys have been able, but these are actually 6-foot posts. I just cut them in half. They do great. So we'll be extending the fence. I haven't quite figured out how far. I'm definitely going to go to this tree bush. And yes, it is a tree bush because it is a pine tree that's being taken over by a multiflora rose. But I want to cut down the multiflora rose because I really need the multiflora rose. So this is a compost. That's a nice compost bin. If you're wondering why it kind of looks junky. So we're going to go up to the porch. I want to show you one other thing. I want to show you guys, some of you have not got a chance to meet the porch bees of 2021. So just, I'm an advocate of bees. I think everybody should be able to, I think everybody should have honeybees. I think that if you have even the smallest amount of room to have it, that's something that you should focus, making sure you have your attention on. Because honeybees, not only are they really cool to have and really good for the environment, they're nothing that you need to fret about or worry about or anything of that sort. So these are the hive. There's one of the hives right here. This hive's going to get moved, but this is just where I'm staging it right now. But this is the porch bee hive. This is the honeybee hive that hangs out here, that lives on the porch. And just to show you, there's the bees. And my porch is a mess, so excuse my mesh. But I'm going to show you, we're going to zoom back just so you guys can actually see when I say they're on my porch. So there's the beehive, there's the cat, there's our door, and the other junk that I've got sitting on the porch right now. There they are. What's great about them being right here by the front door is when they swarm, I get an easy heads up, and so I can then either convince them not to swarm by putting some more housing, or I can then capture the swarm easier and move it to where I want it to go to. So that is the pro. That is the absolute one of the perks of having the. So, and I just want to show you guys, I don't know if you guys have ever seen my sign that I live by. So there's one of my signs that I absolutely live by. So hard work, never hurt anyone. Why take a chance? Absolutely. Right, Fernando? He agrees. So, and then I'll show you guys, these are the cherry bees. So every year I've got a beehive that hates me, that just doesn't like me. Last year it was the blue bees. The year before that it was the, I can't remember the name of those guys. They were the Buckfast ones. This year it's these guys. So these guys are currently nicknamed the cherry bees. But these guys are not happy with me. If you go back and you watch one of the past videos, you can see, you can actually watch, I actually have on the video me being stung, just because some people's never seen anybody get stung and they want to know what it was like. So I left that up and taped that. So I only got stung with that group of bees though. Even though these bees hate me and they're angry and such like that, I did only get stung 4 times. But I just also want people to know, and you guys watched what I was doing. I wasn't wearing a veil. I wasn't wearing a veil or anything like that. So, but anyways, what the idea is, why did these bees hate me? Well, I'm new. So these bees this was the first day that the bees met me. They didn't know who I was. I manhandled them a little rougher than I probably should have, especially for being new bees. And they haven't got used to my smell yet. And that's good. That's actually a good instinct that you want your bees to have, is when you first get them, you want them to be things. Let's see if these guys are still, let's see if they still hate me. We'll find out. So, pretty calm. So I didn't get a bunch of guys coming up and yelling at me, telling me I shouldn't be up here. So should be good to go. Well, guys, I think I'm going to head in. I think I am gonna get some other stuff done. Got a few more. Always few more chores. Remember, guys, Wednesday nights at 9:30 we do our show. You guys are welcome to jump on all that. And Anything else? If anybody has any questions, join the Discord, or just hit me up however you see fit. So, again, my name's Justin, Doc, Baron, whatever you guys like to call me. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day. Look forward to seeing you guys all very soon. And to all of my friends here on DLive, like It's About May, check her out. She's a fun channel. To all my other friends here on DLive, I will see you guys in your chat room and in your channel sometime in the very near future. Anyways, Baron, Doc, Justin, whatever you'd like to call me. Have a wonderful day. Till tomorrow. Adios.